Is Pete Hegseth positioning himself to become the next president? Is the defense secretary setting himself up for a showdown with his boss, Donald Trump? Amid widespread criticism over his handling of the Iran conflict, Hegseth is making political appearances in states that matter enormously to presidential candidates. The 46-year-old Trump administration official campaigned for Republican Congressman Zach Nunn, who is running for re-election this year. He also campaigned for Senator Darlene Graham in the early presidential primary state of South Carolina last week. He also showed up for Congressional candidate Ed Gallrein in his successful primary run against incumbent Kentucky Representative Thomas Massie earlier in May. In response, the Pentagon had said that Hegseth attended the campaign events in his personal capacity. The spokesperson said that he would only be using military aircraft for the trip due to the continuous need for secure communications and responsive transportation for national security. Many are asking, is Hegseth quietly building the machinery for a presidential campaign? Trump has spent months playing coy about the question of succession. Vice President Vance is widely viewed as a leading contender. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has also been mentioned as a potential heir. Trump has claimed that he may even run for a constitution-busting third term himself. Hegseth sparked a row last year when he used a Signal group chat to share sensitive details of military strikes on Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. But this is not the only scandals associated with Hegseth, a former Fox News television host. The other controversies include repeated purges of military top brass and DEI hires across the department, plans for free hormone therapy for service members with low testosterone, efforts to formally censure Democratic Representative Mark Kelly, and evicting or otherwise censoring mainstream defense and national security correspondents from the Pentagon press corps. A CNN analysis released this month by senior data reporter Harry Enton found Hegseth's net approval rating at -22, the worst of any senior administration figure CNN tracked. Hegseth's ratings are likely to plummet after reports of mental health issues affecting sailors and other conditions on board USS Abraham Lincoln, the American warship that was deployed to fight Trump's war against Iran. However, Trump has downplayed the concerns raised over the sailors' plight, who have been on board for the past 240 days.
Is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake report. The Lincoln has been out there for a period of time, good period of time, but over the years we've had them out there much longer.
What is Donald Trump hiding about the brawl on board USS Abraham Lincoln as the Pentagon faces mounting questions over the plight of crew and conditions on board the warship deployed for the past 240 days? Trump has issued a blunt denial.
Is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake report. The Lincoln has been out there for a period of time, good period of time, but over the years we've had them out there much longer. I was at a group meeting and an admiral came up to see me over the weekend. And it was at a big group and he happened to be an admiral retired. He said, I've been on ships that are out there much longer than that, sir. And I know people on the Lincoln, they say it's beautifully maintained and beautifully taken care of. And other people went out and they found out to be true. It was fake news reporting from CNN.
But Trump's on-camera denial has not silenced the controversy. USS Abraham Lincoln has been at the center of escalating concern over mental health and supply issues for American sailors and during a record-setting uninterrupted time at sea of more than 240 days. This is not the first time when Trump has dismissed reports of conditions on board the warship.
U.S. senators are concerned about the conditions on board USS Lincoln.
That ship is slowly doesn't that. That ship is floating right now for very short, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship.
The one you thought on too long, or you?
No. Not nearly long enough.
Several Democrat lawmakers have demanded accountability from the Pentagon on the conditions on board the 5,000-member strong warship. According to an Associated Press report, top Democrats on the House Oversight Committee have requested a classified briefing on the ship's food inventory, sanitation issues, and health care availability, as well as an assessment of how much longer it would be deployed before relief arrives. Mike Levin, a Democrat congressman from California, posted on X screenshots of the letter he sent to Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. He described the lot of the crew on X as moldy showers, broken toilets, laundry down for weeks, long stretches with no hot water, a meal that came down to half a cup of rice and 2 tortillas, no soap, deodorant, or toothpaste.
So I want to be clear that I don't expect for an aircraft carrier to be the Holiday Inn, right? I don't expect for it to be a luxury lifestyle. Our Marines and our sailors, they are the best of the best. They sign up for hard duty, but we also should expect basic habitability. We should expect running water and clean drinking water, enough food to eat, working plumbing, the basics. Because when you don't have the basics and you think about the needs of the warfighter, it's not just about having enough weapons or the right kinds of weapons. It's also about basic quality of life. Basic readiness requires that you have enough to eat. It requires that you have working plumbing. This is not rocket science. And when I think about my role as an appropriator, every year I'm asked by the president to fund the military to the tune this year of over $1 trillion. And what it tells me is that the priorities are all out of whack. If the president has enough money to be gilding everything in sight in Washington, D.C., and to be building a ballroom for himself, but there's no money for plumbing or for enough to eat for our Marines and sailors, it makes no sense. We still, almost 6 months into this thing, don't know when the mission will be accomplished. And you've got a president who, has changed a dozen times, saying often that we've won. Well, if we've won, bring everybody home. And if we haven't, tell the truth about why we're still there and provide clarity to these families whose loved ones are in harm's way, and provide clarity to our men and women who are serving, who are giving their all to this country. And, it's not too much to ask to have a clear mission, to be treated, in decent conditions in the meantime, and just to have an administration that tells the truth. But I don't think that Pete Hegseth seems capable of telling the truth when the truth is inconvenient. And the reality is, even if the Wall Street Journal reporting today is right, and the Washington's going to take over at some point for the Lincoln, we still don't know when. And when is the only thing the families care about. And we also don't know where. A lot of the families are in San Diego. We're hearing that the Lincoln might wind up in Washington State. So we don't know.